We have a massive update. While the Knicks continue to explore different trade options, they are hesitant to make a trade for another player. They do not want to trade any of their big men. They want to wait for Mitchell Robinson and see where he is with his health and when he can return for New York. We're also going to take a look at Jericho Sims, who wants more opportunities to play and showcase his skill set and abilities. We're going to break down all of these latest reports today. But before we get started, guys, about 54% of you watching this video right now are not subscribed to the channel. We have a mission to try to reach 25,000 subscribers, and we could really use your support. If you enjoy daily Knicks content like this, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button because it could really support all the great content that we're creating for you. And now, let's get started. The Knicks are hesitant to make a major trade. Reports have been heating up about the Knicks and their trade plans. Everybody wants to know what New York is going to do. The Knicks have already received a number of calls on Jericho Sims and on Mitchell Robinson, but they have failed to pull the trigger on any trades. And now we know why. New York does not want to trade any of their big men until they know the real status of Mitchell Robinson and when he's going to return. Let's break down these latest reports. Shout out to Steve Popper with Newsday for giving us the following information. According to him, the Knicks' issues with depth have been apparent all season long, and while they've managed to avoid any injury issues related to it, the starters have played long minutes and kept the team on the right path at 27-16. But they need help, whether internally or before the February 6th trade deadline. Getting that help, though, remains a tough ask. Mitchell Robinson remains the key, either coming to help backing up Karl-Anthony Towns or playing alongside him. But Robinson remains in limbo where he has been for most of last season and this one. He is rehabbing with little clarity on when or if he will return to the lineup. Popper continues by stating, the Knicks certainly know better than anyone what Mitchell Robinson's status really is. But speaking with the league sources, other teams have little faith that he's not a risk without seeing him on the floor first. And that risk is the same for the Knicks and for other teams. Who will trade for Mitchell Robinson when he's had repeated foot and ankle injuries? Can the Knicks count on him to get healthy and stay healthy? It's not just Robinson's status that holds up his trade possibilities, but Precious Achiuwa just cleared the deadline, which now opens him up for trades. And Jericho Sims wouldn't mind finding a new home with more opportunities. But the Knicks are hesitant to move any one of their big men until they have more information on Mitchell Robinson and when he's going to be back. One thing that seems likely now is that Robinson won't be back in a game before the deadline. I understand the Knicks' decision to not move forward with the trade until they know the real status of Mitchell Robinson, if he's going to be healthy and when he's going to return this season. The main reason for that is, why would you give up one of your big men, one of your insurance policies, without understanding if one of your other big men will return and how he's going to look once he returns? So I can understand why the Knicks are waiting. However, the Knicks have been waiting on a Mitchell Robinson real status update since December. And then December turned into January. January is now February. And February might turn into March. And it looks like we're headed that way because clearly, as Steve Popper states here, Mitchell Robinson is likely going to return after the February 6th trade deadline. We don't know what the date is after that. It could be mid-February. It could be even beyond that. So that begs the question, where is Mitchell Robinson right now in his rehab, and when is he going to return for New York? Well, shout out to James L. Edwards of The Athletic for giving us a little bit more insight about Robinson and where he is in his rehab. According to Edwards, their roster is in need of some tweaks, but they must stay below the second apron, making the ability to do something of great significance by February 6th very tricky. On top of that, New York's biggest contract not in the starting unit is center Mitchell Robinson, who hasn't played all season after undergoing foot surgery last spring. Robinson's return could be the midseason acquisition they need. The Knicks could use an elite rim protector who also acts as a premier lob threat. However, Robinson's return date remains unclear, as he's yet to practice or begin full sprinting. Conversely, there's a scenario where the Knicks draw a line in the sand and don't want to rely on availability of the often injured big man. Because he hasn't started practicing or fully sprinting or even being cleared for contact yet, Mitchell Robinson is likely weeks away before he can return. That likely puts his return date mid-February. That means the Knicks will not be able to see him before the February 6th trade deadline. They will not have the ability to look at him, look at his play, how he looks after returning, and make a decision of maybe if they want to trade him. If they wait for him and he comes back and he doesn't look like the same player, they have to stick with him. They will not be able to trade him until the offseason. And that is something the Knicks have to understand and consider here. It's a risk either way. Do you wait for Robinson to return and then take what he gives you? Or maybe do you make a trade right now for another player, a player that's more available, likely going to be more active, and there when you need him to play? Right now, this is where the Knicks are at. They're trying to make a decision on if they should make that trade or if they should wait on Mitchell Robinson. Because as James Edwards just stated there, if Mitchell Robinson returns and comes back to this team and he looks like the same old Mitchell Robinson, that is likely the best course of action for New York, waiting and getting that type of player back. Because right now, the Knicks need a Mitchell Robinson-like player on this team. Somebody like him who can come off the bench, play alongside Karl Anthony Towns, put that fear in opposing players, but also block shots and get rebounds, get second chance opportunities. One of the main reasons the Knicks were so good last year was because they were dominating opposing teams on the boards, especially on the offensive rebounding side. Mitchell Robinson changes all of that. So getting him back healthy is very, very good for New York, and obviously something that they want to wait for. That's why they're hesitant to make a move and make a trade right now. But I think as they continue to wait, if Mitchell Robinson's return date continues to get pushed back, they will be forced to make a move. Maybe they won't trade Preston Achiuwa, but maybe they might trade Jericho Sims. And as we just heard, Sims would not mind going to another location, going to another team, if that means he'll get more opportunities to shine and showcase his skill set. And if that's what he wants, and New York knows that, then I think it's inevitable at this point. Before the February 6th trade deadline, Jericho Sims will be traded to another team. In my opinion, he will be traded to the Houston Rockets for either 1 or 2 second-round picks. And after we get that, the Knicks will have an open roster spot. They will have cleared cap space, and now they can go to the G League and look to sign one of those players. A Moses Brown, a Chuma Okeke, or even a TJ Warren. They can sign any one of those players, call them up to the main roster, and hopefully one of those players is a Tom Thibodeau favorite. Because if he is going to see significant time off the bench. And if that happens, then maybe the Knicks will be able to expand the rotation to 9 or 10 players. Trust the bench more. Develop the bench more. But more importantly, give the starters more rest. Have them playing under 35 minutes a night, each and every night, until we get to the postseason, where the games matter the most. If we know that Mitchell Robinson is still being delayed with his return, and we know that Jericho Sims is oftentimes situational, doesn't really play a lot of minutes, then honestly, why not go out there and trade Sims for either a second-round pick or multiple seconds, and then go to the G League and sign somebody else that you know will play under Tom Thibodeau and will have a major impact? The goal here is to add more players to the team that Tom Thibodeau trusts, will utilize, will play, so that way the starters can rest. Let's not lose sight of the goal here. Yes, it's to get better. Yes, it's to add more talent, but it's also to rest, to gain the ability to rest the starting unit, because Tom Thibodeau is out of control right now with the minutes and his starting unit. A change needs to happen, and adding talent to this team is the way to do it. I understand that the Knicks are hesitant right now. They don't want to make a move just to make a move, and I definitely understand that. But if there's a trade available on the table that will get the Knicks off of one of their players that they do not utilize a lot, that they do not play a lot, like Jericho Sims, it's another way to upgrade this team at a very low cost. And if anybody knows anything about low-cost deals, it's Leon Rose. He prefers that, and that's what he looks for. So if that's the case, then it's only a matter of time before they make a lower-level trade. They have been hearing about Jericho Sims and potential trade offers for him all season long. But it looks like right now, they might be inclined to start entertaining those trade talks. But what about you guys? What do you think about the following reports indicating that the Knicks are hesitant to move any of their big men until they know if they're going to have Mitchell Robinson back? Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans, take care of yourself, your families, and each other. Peace and love.